Here we go. This one's going to be a bit harder because I don't have the actual grid to work on. I'm thinking this needs to be 5. Oh, is this a 2-part? Oh, I may need to use my other board. I may need to double dose. There we go. Or maybe not. I don't know. Okay, I know. We're going to start from the bottom left. That's going to work out the best.
Better to have too much and not need it than not
Yeah,
enough.
I've never done a 2-parter before, so we'll see how well this works out.
It's just a bigger board. It'll take longer. That's about it.
I found a Temi template that only takes 1 board. I'm excited to do that one. I think starting from here will be fine. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's move a little bit up, but not by much.
Now, of course, if you want a challenge, try doing it backwards.
I don't want a challenge. It's hard enough. It's already hard.
Just like horizontally flip it in your head and then put it on.
That sounds awful. I also want to do the Disney Cruise Line logo, which I think is absolutely beautiful. Six from the left, 5 from the bottom. Thank you, Grapevine. So, like I said, my mom bought me these beads for really no reason, and she said that the other day I was talking to her about them, and she was like, maybe you could like make some ambulances, because she works at a hospital. She's like a hospital administrator. So that maybe you can make some ambulances for, you know, nursing week or whatever, something is coming up. And I'm like, I don't know if I can make 30 of them in 2 weeks. Maybe I could make some of them, and you could do like a raffle, and then we'll see. It's like,
I thought nursing week happened back in March
I
or
don't know.
something.
It's paramedically. It's always some week with the nursing community. Not that I don't deserve it, but it's always something. Can make a smaller sized one. What, an ambulance? Oh, I kind of like the design of this one though.
Well, you can also make more than one. You can make a big one, a small one.
True.
A super big one if you've got enough boards.
I've got 5 boards. One, down. And I'm like, yeah, I don't know if I'm going to follow through with that request, but I will make one, see if she likes it anyways. And then let's see. I need to make the prototype. Like a Perler ambulance box that fits over a Kleenex box. Like a whole box of an ambulance? Like that's those like 3D Perlers, right? That you were talking about?
Corners must take a bit of work. Edges.
I would think so. This one's gonna need a lot of white. Also, I don't need this much black. Let's put these over here. We're all done with that one. It's just the amount of work. You don't really appreciate it. It's like, it's fun work, and I'm not complaining by any stretch of the imagination, but people make it look so easy.
It helps if you have decent spatial orientation.
Perhaps. Corners use wipes flat iron. It's about having fun. I fully agree, Tro, and I totally am. I love seeing that finished project. I'm so happy at how this baby Yoshi turned out. Let me see the tail. That's pretty. Tail looks. It's a little weaker than the rest of the body, but like the connection is very, very thin. So as long as I don't fuck with it, I think it should be fine. Like I would never use that as like a keychain or something. Too much chance of it to get wrecked. I'm thinking about making a keychain, but I'm not sure of what. A Temmie would probably be too big. Okay. This needs to go here, and this needs to go here. I'm not sure what I'm doing. I seem to follow the outline of this other wheel. Perlers with only one side stuck to another don't hold up well unless pretty melted. That's not super aesthetically pleasing. Perlers with only one side stuck to another. What do you mean? You mean like not doing double, like not doing the bottom too? Because that's the way I've always heard about people doing Perlers. You melt down one side, then you melt down the other. Oh, are you talking about the 3D Perlers, Tro? The nice thing about this two-parter is that we're not going to need too much of this board, so we're really just borrowing some of the board. Oh, I see what you're saying. So, like, the fringe is only stuck to one perler, so it's going to be far weaker. That makes sense. But even for this kind of work, it's still like, I don't know if you can see it, but the melt is far less. It's not as thick, unfortunately. Why did I decide to start doing creative streams? Mostly I just wanted to play with Perlers. I wanted to make things. Like, I'm not sure when that desire started, but it's not terribly expensive. And it's fun. It's calming. I think I'm gonna do do this pattern from bottom to top. It's not even that 12, because I'm not really doing anything necessarily creative. I'm just following a grid. It's more mathematical than creative, to be honest.
Mathematics can be very creative.
I suppose. But it's like there's no. I feel weird whenever I say I'm doing art. I'm not. I looked up Pinterest and I looked up a ambulance. I'm following someone else's design.
Well, just because you're not creating original art doesn't mean you're creating art.
It just feels very.
I mean, you gotta imagine there is a crap ton of copies of the Mona Lisa.
True, but
It's still
I
art.
wouldn't say that that person is showing anything other than the basic skill of reproducing someone else's work.
That is not a basic skill, believe me.
Well, maybe not like actual painting, but it certainly isn't too hard with Perlers. I'm a firm believer that if I can do it, probably anybody can do it with a lot of this stuff, because I'm one of the laziest people alive. So if I have the patience to do it, literally anybody could.
It's actually kind of interesting to think about how many things are art and how many things factor into art.
Well, art is such a broad spectrum. It's like, Let's Plays
Well,
are art.
as an example, like, mathematics factors into music.
There's a Donald cartoon about mathematics and how it's all creative in its own way.
And for that matter, one thing that always tickles me whenever it comes up in my mind is the fact that when we go around buying things, we're basically trading mass-produced art for our goods.
I mean, basically.
Because think about like all the ridiculous semi-visible security measures in those, never mind the actual designs. And just carry them around in our pockets and toss them out for something else. I think every once in a while aliens must be going, wow, they must really like art.
Well, I mean, if, I don't know how into the Star Wars books you are, but the Thrawn series was big into that, about how art, like, that's how he studied his enemies, was through art, because you really learn a lot about a person and the society.
Well, yeah. Art is where you pour your emotions into it, pour your soul into it. It ends up being very revealing.
And a lot of things are art, you know. Music is art. Writing is art. Fucking tapestries. Art.
Even farts can be art
I mean,
when you make music.
It's true. Why it always cracks me up when people like give so much shit to some of the huge pop culture things just because they are justifiably terrible, like the Stephanie Meyer's books and the 50 Shades of Grey and all that. It's like, yes, they were not great literature, but they were still books. They were still works of art. You just didn't care for them. So speaking of which, let me test this.
And the other thing is just people's insistence that art has to be good. No, there's bad art too.
Oh, it's true?
There's plenty of bad art.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, just because you call it art doesn't mean you're saying it's amazing. You're saying it's creative. That's about it.
It's like, you can't say that something isn't art. That's not... Nobody is able to be the judge of that. I want gray. Turn off gray. I want white.
There are things that we don't want to acknowledge as art that I think the majority of the populace doesn't want to acknowledge as art.
Oh, true.
Serial killers' rituals, for example.
Indeed. I don't need those. I need these.
I imagine they think it's art. I just think it's fucking rude.
Anything that's not a necessity is art. You could say that. I mean, the way you do anything in life. could be considered an art form, like the dance of life, as it were. I am glad I got my whites in today, because I would not have had enough for this.
Which naturally comes right back to good art versus bad.
Indeed.
Some people live their lives bad art.
But then, is anything really bad art, or is it just art that you don't like? That's the real questions.
Well, my line, and I think you've got about the same line, is, does it hurt?
True enough.
If yes, bad.
Indeed, indeed. Yeah, I'm not trying to justify serial killers. No, I'm not. That's not a thing. But I see what you're saying. I need a red.
Yeah. And that's part of the reason it gets so subjective, because people can be hurt by the strangest things. That's why the whole, like, triggered stuff started going on.
The world is a strange beast. I need a white right here, and this is a whole red line up to here. I kind of feel like a printer, like one of the old dot matrix printers. Lady parts? What do you mean, Wacky? Do you mean are lady parts art? Absolutely. The human form is 100% art.
Oh, I think Georgia O'Keeffe already frickin' proved that.
I feel like I should know that reference.
She's an artist. Every single one of her things is...
Wacky Sis wants you to do a perler vagina, that's what she's saying.
I could probably perler a vagina, but I would probably get banned from Twitch.
Why?
So that would be really skeeve.
No, like a medical book, you know, diagram of one. That's
I feel
not
like
lewd.
I feel like they would not
education.
allow me to rules lawyer that. I feel they would just carpet ban, say fuck off. Like don't be an idiot. Of course you're not allowed to do a vagina.
It's educational. I don't see the problem here. Also, I gotta leave because I'm still listening to this.
Have fun. I feel like, well, there was a thing about, you know, pornographic material on Twitch, and the message there was it can't be like the majority of the game. Like, you can't bring attention to it, but if it happens to show up, like, what's a game with boobs in it? Like, just real boobs.
God of War?
Does that God of War have boobs in it? Like, just flat out honkers?
I don't know about the one, but I think there was boobs in at least one of the trilogy.
Well, it's like, I don't even know, like, Ark is allowed, right? And they got dicks all over the place. Yeah, I get the general feeling they would not permit a hyper-realistic perler vagina.
Even not hyper-realistic.
Like a cartoony vagina? I mean, I could give this ambulance a vagina, but I don't think that would make it an appropriate gift anymore to my mother. So I don't think I'm going to do that.
Maybe it's a gynecological vagina? Or
like yeah, just women's health.
Yeah, it's for, like, getting all the pregnant ladies to the hospital when their water breaks.
I thought you were making you a perler lady part. I'm not gonna make a vagina. I feel like that crosses a very weird line.
Yeah, especially
on multiple levels.
But considering the spirit of their rule, like, you would be very intentionally the content.
Yes.
Not even just showing it off, but creating.
Well, when we first went to the moon on Minecraft, I made a MS Paint dick on stream, and it took like 20 minutes. I think there were like 60 people in there. Like a bunch of random Minecraft weirdos came in because they saw a dick on the screen, I'm betting, in the Minecraft channel. So Twitch obviously doesn't care at this level, but...
Well, it's... For another thing, dicks are...
Shin says, I like boobs. I like boobs too, Shin. Or
who doesn't
everybody
like
likes boobs. Literally.
Even most girls like boobs a little.
Shin wants boobs?
Like, they may not be happy about the downstairs, but the boobs look nice.
I mean, yeah. Well, that goes back to the human form and beauty. Like, the human form is absolutely beauty. Like, literally everybody is beautiful in their own way, even if it doesn't meet your aesthetic. And I'm not trying to justify anybody or anything, but people who... shit, I lost a white. I feel like Shin doesn't actually want man boobs. Like, I feel like that was a misinterpretation. Oh yeah, people in general are horrible. Like, just awful. In every stretch of the imagination. Oh, fair enough. I'm not making boobs. I can give you a hint on what I'm making next, and that may or may not happen depending on how long the rest of this ambulance takes to get here. I'm really pleased with how well that turned out. 2 successful video game sprites. Now it kind of looks like the there we go. Yoshi's gonna take it from this bird. Excellent. Where's Kitty? Kitty's asleep. It's 11:12 here. How has she been in the wee ones? The wee ones are great. She and the daughter went to Disney today, and I promised Eric that he could play video games on the weekend since he got such good grades. Like, he was able to play like as long as he wanted because he got like total straight A's. So I kept my promise, and he was able to play all day today. And he loved it. Does your family get free passes then? I can't really go into specifics, but yes, we can generally go into Disney whenever we want. To a certain extent.
One of those use it but don't abuse it policy.
There is a certain amount, and they don't carry over to the next year. Yeah, she can get in a certain amount of people per day, a certain amount of times a year. I mean, I don't know why I'm coy about it. It would take 2 seconds to Google it. And I 100% assure you it will be there. Because a lot of people are not as coy.
That's another thing you could, Perler.
What's that?
A koi.
A fish?
Yes.
But a Google answer isn't getting yourself in possible trouble. What? But a Google answer isn't getting yourself in possible trouble. It wouldn't get me in trouble, because you'd be Googling it. If you Google it and find it, then I have no control over that.
That's what he's saying.
Yes. Ambulance is really coming together. I mean, I want to say I started this at about like 25 minutes ago. Like 40 minutes a Perler thing for like 30 people. I don't think I can just make that on my off time. That's a lot. Wait, what the hell? Okay, I see. One too many. That's why our kids have been to Disney more than most people that are not cast members. And extreme fanatics. There are people who devote their entire lives to Disney. People who wisely do not work for the company. Because that would diminish that. Although not so much for me.
Yeah, but for you, it's on the blood.
True enough. $8:59 approximate start. Okay, so it's only been about 15 minutes. I still don't think I have the patience to do like 30 of them. But I will absolutely make her one. I don't care about her coworkers.
Well, that's why you've got to do like different ones, bigger and smaller, stuff like that. So instead of handing her like 30 copies, you're handing her, you know, a dozen that all look subtly different.
Fair enough.
And if she complains, you can just remind her who never would do. Like just doing the same thing over and over again.
I could just leave it like this. It could be like an ambulance Ferrari. Oh, if I like took off this side, like these front right here, it would just be like a neat little sports car. If you could have pegboard toothpick things where you stack 5 colors, finish.
That would be interesting.
Finish pattern iron. What? Like a.
What she's suggesting is that, like, you extend the pegs.
Oh, but like you have like a 3D image from the side.
Like you use something disposable picks then to extend the pegs, and then just stack them, iron the topmost layer, pull it off, and snip whatever extension you have down to iron the next layer.
Huh. I would have to see that.
Well, yeah, you would need some sort of disposable extension.
I don't see the end result of what you would get by stacking pegs.
You could make the same design multiple times for, like, if you did want to crank out a bunch of
copies. I see. So like,
because then you don't have to look at the grid. You just look at the pattern that's already there for the first one, and you just start layering.
I have to imagine that the heat would end up melting them far before it would be useful. Like if you heated up the top layer.
Well, no, you heat up the top layer just enough to get it to finish it somewhere else.
I imagine the amount of heat between being done and melting to the next layer is not very much. I mean, the idea is interesting, but I don't think it would be practical for Perlers because they are so small and flimsy. Like, they take no time at all to melt. Like 30 seconds with an iron on medium to high heat.
Well, yeah, that's why you just do it for like 10
That
to get them sort of sticking
That's
together.
why I have to put a towel down on my desk, because the heat goes all the way through these perlers and through the plastic base.
Oh.
So I don't want to scorch my desk.
So in addition to the...
That's how much heat comes out of an iron in this area.
Well, yeah, but it would have... You could do it carefully with having just turned the iron on.
I suppose.
I don't know. I'm sure there's ways around it, but it's getting complicated. Don't care anymore.
You would have to have a divider, and that's a hassle. I feel like it would just be easier to get used to the design, because once you're on autopilot, it's not hard to just do it again and again and again. Why do I have a yellow here? Get out of here.
Oh, man. I've already basically... no, actually, I think the light would probably be a better start. Layer.
So, 1, 2,
I was
3.
thinking about that. I was already plan for like, okay, what would be the best way to repeatedly do this?
I don't think there is one.
Well, my first instinctive starting point was break like single dot. But that gets a little complicated. If you start with the light at the top, you basically get layers. Where you have, you know, white layer, mix, white layer, then you've got 3 mixes, then white, mix, etc.
The 12 does have a point. I don't think I would want to make, 35 identical copies.
Oh yeah,
I'm losing
yeah.
reds. Reds flying everywhere. I need to get a better system of organizing these beads, rather than just.
Personally, for me, like, then it sort of helps out at finding more efficient ways to do things is basically what keeps the drudge work interesting for me.
Fair enough. Make an ambulance mascot costume. I can make like an ambulance Temmie. How can I make? I was gonna do this if I got the gumption to do it tonight, which I probably wasn't going to. But is there a way to make Temmie into like an ambulance person? I'd have to think about that.
Yes. I mean, you can basically just, like, the head has rather obvious definition to it. So you just stick that onto a body.
True. Like a Temmie body.
Yeah, somebody in, like, an EMT uniform, scrubs or something. And then you have an ambulance Temmie.
Oh, Lord. I have to think about that.
And hey, you were just talking about how this didn't feel all that creative. Start mixing magic.
That's true. And then it would be new-ish. It'd be a remix.
Mm-hmm. It'd be something that you could claim as at least having a good amount of your influence in it, rather than just your work.
Rather than just copying. This needs to go here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, there we go. It's a little off. Roar the Perler DJ. I think we're almost done with this. I'm gonna plug the iron back in. Nathan, go way down. Go way down, bud.
Pet that dog.
There you go. Oh, you were like that. Good boy. Oh, good boy. Oh, yeah, good boy. Oh, good puppy. Yeah, I just got the top layer to do, and I think we're done.
Yeah, that and the light. But the light is just like 4 quick blues.
The light? Oh, yeah.
Yeah, the light at the top.
That. Just one layer and then the top. Your mom's Christmas cross stitch? I can't wait for Christmas, to be honest. The entire month of Christmas is going to be Christmas Perlers. Assuming I keep my interest up that long.
Yeah, that's 7 months.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. Going to do the is it a mystery ghost too? I could do that. I could throw out some something awful memes. You should. 12. You could just go get butt surgery. That'll get you out of work for a month. It's officially been 1 year since that. 1 year and 1 week since butt surgery.
That sounds like a rather expensive vacation.
Yeah. Depends on the vacation, I guess.
Well, 12, if they took half your colon, then it'd be a semicolon.
Healthcare is free here, that's true. Phantom, why are you right behind me? I wish you would move back a little bit.
So it still baffles me which one is the colon and which one is the semicolon. Because the semicolon actually has more to it.
I think that's probably one of those old English things that probably used to make a lot more sense than it does now.
I guess.
Alright, let me put these whites away. Oh, that's gonna take forever. Let me just shove these whites to the side. Shove this. I didn't even need the second board. Oh well. Better safe than sorry. Let's get the old... Don't you move. Let's get the old this. How long does the wax paper survive? When do I need to replace the wax paper? Like, it feels the same as always. Alright. Oh shit. The hell did I do with this wire? Did I accidentally burn myself doing it? No. No, we're fine. Okay. Alright. Here goes. We're gonna do a 30-second countdown. 1, 2, 3, 1,000, 4, 1,000, 5, 1,000, 6, 1,000, 7, 1,000, 8, 1,000, 9, 1,000, 10, 1,000, 11, 1,000, 12, 1,000, 13, 1,000, 14, 1,000, 15, 1,000, 16, 1,000, 17, 1,000, 18, 1,000, 19, 1,000, 20, 1,000, 21, 1,000, 22, 1,000, 23, 1,000, 24, 1,000, 25, 1,000, 26, 1,000, 27, 1,000, 28, 1,000, 29, 1,000, 30, 1,000. That's looking pretty good. Maybe a little bit up here at the top. and a little bit in the back. What do you think? What do you think, Troll? Resident Perler expert. No, definitely not. They are not melted. Not in the front, at least. A little more pressure. Focus a lot more attention here in the front.
You have a magic zoom in?
It's not magic. It's literally just zoom in. Alright, let me do the magic. Find my mouse. Where the hell is it? Properties. The problem is, like, I have to go into like the camera settings.
Yeah, I wasn't saying do it. What he was talking about.
Alright, let's move this. Here we go. How's that? It's looking pretty melted. Up here in the front, not so much. Give it an extra 10 seconds. Hold your iron horizontally, then you can have the entire iron on it at once. You make a fair point. 1002, 1003, 1004, 1005, 1006, 1007, 1008, 1000, 9, 1000, 10, 1000. Why does the front still look shitty? Like right here on this, at the front tip. I'm just gonna melt this right here. Melt, you fucks.
Honestly, I'd say the back is having the same problem. The middle that's getting everything.
Yeah, maybe I just focus on the sides here.
Mm-hmm.
Like way over here on this. Because yeah, it seems like everything in the middle is getting super melted. That's melting a bit. There we go. Just sort of press. Maybe I'm not pressing down. Maybe I should press down. Iron flat. Alright, I'll iron it flat at the end. That's looking pretty good. How about the wheels? I don't think the wheels have gotten like any. Alright, let's lift up a little tiny bit. Ooh, you're not melted. Ooh, you thought you could get away. Melt, you little shit.
See, when you're talking about Christmas, now I'm just imagining you saying that particular phrase to Frosty.
You know what? I'm okay with that one. Actually, you know what? No, we can get that one melted. We can get that little bad boy melted. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. If we lose it, oh well. I'm not extremely concerned. It'll still be perfectly recognizable. Are we good now? Oh, we're good. Oh, oh my dick! It's so good. Excellent. Now, when do we? It's okay to melt the inner holes closed. I prefer not to, but we'll deal with what we can. Okay, when can I move this bad boy? Probably right now, I'm guessing. It just sizzled. There's no water in this thing. I think it's quotes add. I don't know what. Man. Okay, now we're only half done. We got to get the back now, but I think this will be fine. Okay, am I on cam? Not really. Let's move you up a little bit. There we go. Perfect. One, 1,000, 2, 1,000, 3, 1,000, 4, 1,000, 5, 1,000, 6, 1,000, 7, 1,000, 8, 1,000, 10, 1,000, 11, 1,000, 12, 1,000, 13, 1,000, 14, 1,000, 15, 1,000, 16, 1,000, 17, 1,000, 18, 1,000, 19, 1,000, 20, 1,000, 21, 1,000, 22, 1,000, 23, 1,000, 24, 1,000, 25, 1,000, 26, 1,000. That's looking pretty melted, actually, come to think of it. This side's getting a bit over melted, I think. Maybe the iron had a better chance to heat up. Oh, that's really good. I'm going to iron it flat just a tiny bit. There we go. Oh man. Look at that ambulance. That is really good. Thanks to that lady from Pinterest.